One more about yesterday. We noticed, starting at the end of the campaign, and then into the transition, and here at the White House, anytime that the president has an event where he is given a list of reporters to call on, Fox is the only member of the 5-network TV pool that has never been on the list in front of the president. And I'm just curious if that is an official administration policy.
We're here having a conversation, aren't we?
Yes, but
And do I take questions from you every time you come to the briefing room?
Yes, but I'm
Has the
asking about
president taken
president.
questions from you since he came into office?
Unfortunately,
Yes or no?
only when I have shouted after he goes through his whole list. And the president has been very generous with his time with Fox. I'm just curious about this list that he has given.
So
Only member of the 5-network pool, never on it, dating back to when he resumed in-person events in Wilmington during the end of the campaign.
well, I would say that I'm always happy to have this conversation with you, even about your awesome socks you're having on today, you wearing today, and have a conversation with you, even when we disagree. The president's taken your questions, and I'm looking forward to doing Fox News Sunday this Sunday for the 3rd time in the last few months.
Hello and welcome back to my channel. On this episode of Fox News is Full of Crap, what you just saw was our current press secretary schooling a Fox News reporter for basically being like, I get no questions and nobody loves me, and why am I never on the list of people to be asking questions to? It's almost like they want us to magically, they wave a wand and we magically forget the press conferences that Trump used to have, where he would specifically ignore certain reporters, try to have certain reporters kicked out of the briefing room. You don't get to say you don't get to ask questions while asking a question. And when they go out of their way to humor you and allow you to ask questions when you don't make the list, and I want to add, if I remember correctly, having lists for who gets called on for what actually used to be commonplace before Trump. And it's like they forget that there was, decorum before Trump. And maybe, just maybe, the reason no one wants to call on Fox News is because Fox News asks stupid questions like, why is Biden so prepared with numbers? Why does Biden prepare for his speeches and read from a teleprompter? Even though we all know that the Fox News nightly hosts read from teleprompters, prepare their notes, and go out. Heck, I have notes sitting over here in the corner because I don't want to forget things, or if I need to quote accurate figures, I tend to write them down so I have them. That is commonplace. And I'm going to remind you that in a lawsuit, Fox News flat out said that anyone that takes Tucker Carlson seriously is stupid. So really, they have no room to talk or cry about the fact that they are so quote-unquote unloved. They're getting questions, they're getting called on, even if it's screaming from the thing. They're still getting their chance to talk, which is more than they honestly deserve, considering they're not covering the relief bill, they're not covering any of Biden's accomplishments, they're not covering the 100 shots in 58 days. No, they're doing round-the-clock coverage on how they think he's senile, how they think he can't string 2 sentences together, things like that, even though if you actually watch a Biden press conference, they're extremely prepared. Like, they are impressively prepared. It's so nice to have that. Second, he does have a stutter, so sometimes you can tell where he stutters, but, I mean, he has a speech impediment. They're literally latching on to, because they have nothing else controversial to talk about, they're latching on to his speech impediment and trying to say that he's senile. This is what it's come to. This is absolutely what it's come to. And Trump is an idiot. They know this. Biden isn't. And that is why they're playing the game that they're playing, because they don't have any other options. They don't have anything to get him on. He doesn't really misspeak. He doesn't have any scandals. He does his job and he does it right. And I would not put someone on the press list that wasn't, respectful. And the fact that they even humor him is more than I would do. And it's incredibly infuriating that this is their idea of, a good old time. All right, we're going to cover Sean Hannity's coverage in just a second, and I will see you later.